Hey, what's up, friends? This is Will and Willpower Astrology, and we are finishing up the North Node in the birth chart series with North Node in Gemini. All right, so we just finished up a cycle of North Node in Gemini. So if you just had a baby between May 4th of 2020 to January 18th of 2022 of just this year, then this is for you to listen to your kid. And then, yeah, so in reviewing, the North Node astronomically is where the moon's orbit crosses the Earth's orbit. So the moon's spinning around the Earth and the Earth is spinning around the sun. And that point where the moon crosses in front is the North Node. And then that point where the moon crosses the Earth in the back, it's always going to be opposite, right? It's always going to be directly opposite. And so because of the diurnal, like all the planets are moving the same way, and we're going this way and they're going that, you know what I mean? The progression of the North Nodes goes opposite of the rest of the planets. So we started out in the current planet, in the current sign of North Node in Taurus, and now we're getting all the way back around to what just ended with, which is the North Node in Gemini. So the North Node in Gemini won't happen again until like 2040. So crazy. Anyways, the overall meaning of the North Node in Gemini is that the North Node is what we're here to learn in this life. It's what's outside of our comfort zone. It's what we don't really have a grasp on yet, and it's what we're here to master. And so then the South Node, which is the opposite sign, is where that's our comfort zone. That's what we already have available to us. It's kind of what we're already good at. It's like our past life energy and information. So looking at this axis in your chart kind of can help you go, we're going to steer away from these things because the South Node tends to be the negative qualities, or it tends to be like we already know that. So if we stay there, we're not going to develop. So we want to master that and then go into the North Node qualities, which is going to seem like scary to us. It's going to seem like it's outside of our comfort zone. It's going to seem like new information, new development, all that kind of thing. All right, so the timelines, I already said it was May of 2020 to this year, to January 18th of 22. Then going back to the early 2000s, we had for Gen Zs, it's October 12th of 2001 to April 13th of 2003. If you had that, you have North Node in Gemini. Then for the very tail end of the Gen Xers into the very beginning of the millennials is March 15th of 1983 to September 11th of 1984. Then going back to the very kind of beginning of the Gen Xers, August 25th of 64 to February 19th of 66. Then going back to what the tail like maybe the very beginning of the baby boomers or the generation before that, December 2nd of 45 to August 2nd of 47. Then going back to April 16th of 27 to December 28th of 28. And then going back to before September 26th of 08 to March 23rd of 1910. So those are the dates. If you were born in those times, you have the North Node in Gemini and you have the South Node in Sagittarius. So jumping off, what the South Node in Sagittarius is going to bless you with is kind of what you're going to have is a lot of knowledge. You're going to start off your life in possession of a great deal of truth, knowledge, information, and opinions. And probably the challenge for you is going to be in not just walking away from things, but in sharing that with other people and in like expressing your viewpoint and kind of getting into the nitty gritty of interactions with others. So Sagittarius energy can be at its highest. It's very philosophical. It's very knowledgeable. We're going to gain all of our sources and all of our, citations and all of our, it's also the foundation of the philosophy of what becomes religion, and like why do we do what we do, and it can go back to the ancient scholars and the literary it's Sagittarius is the ninth house as opposed to the Gemini third house. So the ninth house is about when we grow up and we go out into the world and we have to develop our own viewpoint. We have to develop our own like ethos, right? We're interacting with other people and we're having relationships in Libra. We're going deeper than that. We're to become one. Like we're merging identities with people in Scorpio. And then in Sagittarius, we take stuff out in the light and we examine it and we go like, look what I dug up. Look what this is. What does that mean? What is the point? We're going to analyze things to death. So in Sagittarius, we kind of develop our own viewpoint, our own logic, our own kind of like we've gone out into the world and now we've seen things. And now because of that, we have this higher viewpoint, higher learning. We've seen things and now we know things. And a lot of times, Sagittarius energy is about the quest for our own truth. And it's about our own viewpoint and our own kind of energy. And a lot of times, Sagittarius energy can be very know-it-all. And it can, because they want to attack things from far away, it's the archer, right? They want to attack things from far away. They're not going to get involved in conflicts. They're not going to fight you. They're just going to go, nope, they're going to walk away. So they want to be, hi Katie, they want to be the know-it-all, but then they also don't want to like fight you about why they're right. They're just like, I'm right, you're dumb. This could be a very adventurous person. Maybe you are coming from a past lifetime where you were like a nomad, or you were like an adventurer, or you were like somebody that was constantly moving around. You know what I mean? Maybe as a kid, you were moving with your parents a lot, or maybe you moved living situations a lot. So you're kind of used to different vistas, different viewpoints. You're used to kind of seeing the world. You're used to kind of getting out there and mixing, mingling, and seeing different viewpoints and different cultures and all this stuff. So for you, maybe it's hard to kind of stay in one place, or maybe it's kind of hard to develop a routine in your neighborhood or in your like work group. You know what I mean? Because you're used to being like a traveler. You're used to being like a guest. You're used to being, you know what I mean? You're used to mixing it up in a way that is not about putting down roots, or is not about kind of your everyday experiences, or you know what I mean? You want excitement, you want travel, you want to be out there mixing it up. So for you, it might be a little more nerve-wracking to be in a situation that's going to be more like a 9-to-5 job, where you're going to have this commute that's the same every day, or that's habitual in that sense, or that's localized into the same environment. Yeah. For you, maybe it's my cat is just not, I don't want this to be a video of me zoning out because my cat is sitting here. For you, it's about moving away from the impulse to want to go see the world, see the most, see the whatever, and really developing what's going on around you, right? Your drive to work, the people that you work with, the people in your neighborhood, your siblings, or the people that shared your upbringing. You know what I mean? You're going to tend to want to move away from that and go towards your own thing. And for you, it's about really getting into the nitty gritty of speaking your truth out with others. Sometimes, like, you're here to really express your viewpoint. It's not just enough to be in that Sagittarius ninth house, like, oh, I'm connected to the truth and I know the truth and I'm up on the mountain by myself, oh, and I have this great viewpoint. Oh, it doesn't do any good for you to just go off and be by yourself. for you, you need to bring that truth because you have a wide viewpoint of stuff you need to give people, but they're not going to hear it if you're off up on the mountain being the hermit by yourself. You need to tell the people. You need to share the truth. You need to be the one that says, nope, it's this. Nope, it's that. And so it's that thing of, I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to say it without it being a read, and I'm not trying to be a read right now. It's not just knowing the answer, but it's in delivering the information in a way that people want to hear it. And so some of that also means that like learning how to talk to people, learning how to like not be offended and oh, I'm walking away and dart off. Like that's kind of a Sagittarian impulse. What you're here to do is to kind of walk into your North Node impulse and energy of talking it out, of is that sideways? Of expressing your viewpoint, of kind of saying like, I hear what you're saying, but here's what I'm saying. Maybe I can influence you. And I think that, how does this express? As a North Node Gemini, it's going to feel uncomfortable to express your opinion. Or maybe you're not going to be used to the type of pushback that you get when you express your opinion because you're like, it's just the truth. Or you're like, whatever, I don't need to prove myself to you. But it kind of, you kind of do. You kind of, in this lifetime, have to take that higher truth that you know and you have to prove it to other people. And that's kind of the scary journey for you, is that you're forced by your localized environment, which is that Gemini third house, siblings, origins, neighborhood. It's the skills you learn as a kid or that you just kind of already inherently know. You need to bring them out into the Gemini way of saying, this is my thoughts, this is my opinions. Sometimes people are not going to hear you. So that's the finessing, right? That's the finessing of like, not just having a message, but knowing how to deliver it. We're going away from highfalutin kind of philosophy. If you couldn't tell it to explain it to a kid, then that's not really the tea that you're on, you know? You need to take that higher truth that you have and be able to funnel it down and give it to people in a way that's digestible, right? You'll be able to be a lot more informative and impactful if you're not, first of all, thinking that I have the truth, and you're a dummy. That's going to be a thing that I think with this, it's like, really, you don't agree with me? Well, fuck you. That's, Gemini is allowing you the opportunity with this North Node placement to use your words to persuade other people. And also, I think the thing that comes along with this, because it's that Gemini twins, right? Other people have information for you that would benefit you and ultimately be more helpful for you, okay? So you are blessed with a wide vista and viewpoint, and you're blessed with a lot of truth and a lot of wisdom through the South Node in Sagittarius. But what you might do is overlook the nuggets of truth that other people have to offer you. Because you're like, whatever, I have the answer. But other people might have nuance. Other people might have fact checks, historical info, like I don't know what, you know what I mean? Other people might have stuff that if you took the time to listen to them while you're also explaining that viewpoint, if you also took the time to shut up and listen to other people's viewpoints, which is the Gemini exchange, the give and take, which is kind of what we're missing in Sagittarius, is just so focused on higher truth and wisdom and learning and knowledge and all this stuff coming out from the universe But Gemini is like, sometimes other people are just there to give you the answer. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can skip all this like rigmarole by, you don't need to go on this quest for truth. You don't need to go on this quest for knowledge. You could just ask for help. You could just, you know what I mean? Say, hey, could you pass me the thing? And people be like, yep, there you go. So, you know what I mean? It's also a communication thing. It's also a two-way street. It's not just expressing your own viewpoint, but it's also in receiving help from others or in just receiving feedback from others. Because if you just take the time to listen and to exchange information and not just be about, oh, this higher truth that I have. Kind of the scary thing about walking into the North Node is the exchange of information. You can download stuff from people that's going to only help you out in the long run. You know what I mean? And I think that also, going away from us, if we're in a Sagittarius, because if Sagittarius is this kind of skittish, the centaur, right? Half human, half horse. We're always skittering away from other people. Like a horse, like a mythological creature horse, then we're not really engaging like a twin or engaging like an equal partner. So I think sometimes we have to see other people's viewpoints as being valid, as being just as valid as our own, right? We have to be able to say, okay, I hear where you're coming from, but also this is what I'm saying, but also I can take what you're saying and incorporate that into my truth. So there's a bunch of different nuances here because Gemini exists on like a whole spectrum of information, right? So it's taking your truth and your viewpoint and being able to disseminate that to any different type of audience. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to switch for my colleagues that I'm working with. Okay, I'm going to switch for my people in my personal life. Okay, I'm going to switch for my students or my people that I talk with on that level. You need to be able to take the information and go, okay, I'm giving it to you. I'm going to take this information and give it to you. It's not just, and also those people are feeding the information that you have. Is this making sense? I hope so. I feel maybe more than the other videos that the information that I'm talking about in this one is kind of scattered and sporadic, but maybe that's kind of what you're learning how to do too, is not just take one thing, but take a bunch of different things and incorporate them all, because that's very Gemini-esque, very Geminian, to kind of pull different pieces together and kind of know where they exist separately. You know what I mean? We're going away from the need to be right. I think the need to be right is a huge pull for a South Node Sagittarius. Like, you don't need to be right. You can say, I know I'm right. I'm presenting this to you and whatever. Oh, I can see why you're right. I think that's a huge thing to step into a North Node of Gemini, is to be able to say, I can see your viewpoint. I can incorporate that into my worldview. It's an exchange. You know what I mean? Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is, it's the glyph of the corpus callosum in the brain. It's the soul glyph on top. We're downloading information from the universe. We're bringing it into the soul, and then that impacts the body. So we're able to take the vibrations from around us and communicate it to each other and bring those different viewpoints together. Yeah? We're not just taking a Jupiterian Sagittarian, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. We're not just taking expansion. It's not just about gaining benevolence and knowledge and bigness and yes, expansion, and kind of being more adventurous. We are adventurous with the South Node of Sag. What we need to do is be more focused and localized in how we're getting our information across. We can't just be space cadet all the time. This is my higher truth, and I don't need to listen to you. I just did it. For you, you're going to be able to more accurately and more truthfully follow your higher truth if you can engage the people around you in a mundane way. It's going to seem kind of mundane for you. But when you're able to communicate, like I have so clearly in this video, when you're able to communicate with people, when you're able to not only express your higher truth, but to take in the information that they have as well and possibly change your viewpoint. Changeability is a part of your path. You're not here to just kind of follow one truth. You're here to sprinkle a little nuance on all the truth and to help people see the truth in bite-sized chunks. And that is your North Node in Gemini. Bloop.